Africans were worshipping God in their own African way. You understand? So, the traditional African religion is the art of worshipping God through lesser gods. They believe in pouring libation and saying whatever they want to say through lesser gods to reach the omnipotent God. They believe in the supreme being. They believe in the supreme being. Just like Christians will pray to the Almighty God, the traditionalists also believe that there is a supreme being. But the lesser ones are spiritually endowed, they believe, with some forces, with some energy, with some spiritual authority inbuilt, okay, in them. So you find somebody pouring libation under a tree, or under a rock, or by a river, or by an object that maybe he has put together himself. Yeah, so those are traditional African religious people.
Okay.
That was the way the Africans were worshipping before the white man brought the Bible. Now, by so doing, they took away a lot of our cultural practice. Because the way of life of a people involves cultural practices like religion, or the art of worshipping the supreme being, the art of clothing, the art of eating, the art of even the language. It's part of the culture. But they are coming here. The Europeans coming to Africa has disrupted the African way of life immensely. It has disrupted our way of life very, very much. But we too have easily followed them and have forgotten many of the things that used to be in the ancient time.
Right. So when you say for the African religions, they communicate through lesser gods.
That's right.
So you have multiple gods.
That's right. So you can have somebody who has a shrine and whose name is Straight. Why? I'm straight. Yes.
I think that maybe
you want to
go and brush.
Okay, we can do that too. We can do that too.
So we will use the beach first.
Right.
And then go straight.
Fine, thank you.
So you can show them the quality.
Right. On your far left is the new arena, boxing arena that was built and commissioned recently.
Okay.
Ghana is endowed with many sportsmen, including boxers. We have produced many world-class boxers, including Azuma Nelson, Ikwate, and so on and so forth. Recently, one guy who was aspiring to become a world star was beaten by a fellow Ghanaian. So it looks like his dream has been shattered of trying to go on the world market. This is the Kolebu
Where?
Teaching Hospital.
To the right?
This is the polyclinic side. Then the main hospital is ahead of us. If you fall sick, you first have to report yourself to the polyclinic. The polyclinic section, and when they realize that you need to be referred to the main hospital, then they can do that. So this is the main general hospital called Kolebu Teaching Hospital. It was started and built by one Gordon Gorgesberg, one of the British governors that ever stayed in Ghana, far back in the early 1920s. It's a well-equipped hospital. It's a teaching hospital, which means medical students have to train here as well. So there is another teaching hospital, and at a place near the airport called the 37 Military Hospital. unfortunately, we can go there today.
Is healthcare is not fully free, right?
It's not entirely free. Of course, every Ghanaian citizen needs a health card, health insurance card, national health insurance card, with which you go to hospital to access medical care.
See, Harley Street is a name from your country, I think.
Harley?
Harley Street.
I don't know. A Jamaican man named Harley. I don't know. Harley. I never see the name. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, it could be. I mean,
could be.
Like I was saying, the ancient time, many Europeans settled in Ghana, and our people incorporated their names and named them with certain locations, and then they have stood the test of time till today. Like I was saying, Gordon Gorgesberg built the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, and therefore the name has remained, even though the name is not Gordon Gorgesberg Hospital.
So does everybody have a Ghanaian name separate from, like, your name is Kofi, and I have a very, very good friend, his name is Edward, and then he has a Ghanaian name. So
I was also christened John, and then Raphael. My parents gave me 2 English names.
Oh.
Now, along the line, in fact, when I started tourism, I decided to drop the 2 English names because I wanted to sound real African. So Kofi is my first name, and Attu is a family name. Okay, it was an influence on me by African Americans. When I was introducing myself, right from the airport to the hotel, I mentioned my name as Johnny and Ralph and Attu. Say, wait a minute, my brother, what are you saying? What's your name? I mentioned the English names again. I said, no, that is not the right thing. We are trying to discover our roots and come back home to Africa to acquire African names. You are introducing yourself using an English name.
Yeah.
You know, African Americans are very pathetic about certain things.
They're what?
So they are very, very emotional about certain things. In fact, the Afrocentric ones normally get angry about many things linked with Europeans. So I had to now use Kofi Attu.
But so do most people have like both, like have an English name and an African name?
Most people do. So in that case, the Ghanaian name becomes your middle name.
And then they put the
So
English.
let's say Edward Kwaku Achampong.
Right. Oh, okay.
No, go ahead. I'm watching my brother.
All right. Edward, you're looking for him, man.
My brother.
He's sitting right behind you.
Yeah.
No, your brother is not sleeping, just walking.
I'm not saying you're sleeping.
He's sitting right behind you.
I don't hear your voice.